Hello and welcome to another mobility session with me, Chris Kading. I'm going to take you through several mobility movements, and remember that mobility, unlike flexibility, isn't just stretching, it is gaining control and stability through our ranges of motion. But before we get started, the piece of equipment that you will need is a broomstick or some sort of dowel. I have a cheap little PVC pipe that I got from Home Depot. Next, you will need a foam roller or rolled up pillow, just something a little bit firm that you can press into and help you keep nice and anchored down. So the first what we're going to start with is a little bit of light stretching, just getting our body loosened up. We're going to go through our ergonomic stretches like we always do. Remember that ergonomic is pretty much just the fancy term for posture and positioning. We're going to attack the areas that tend to be associated with tightness from sitting. So let's go ahead and start with the chest. We're also going to stretch out a little bit of our neck and our shoulders. So what we're going to do is place our hands behind our back. We're going to stick our chin to the ceiling, and then we're going to reach back with those arms. Now we're going to hold this for a good 15 to 20 seconds, just letting this body relax into the movements that we're going to be doing after this. Okay, go ahead and relax out of that. We're going to go into the wrists next. So what I want to see here is you're going to point your fingertips down with your palm forward. The other hand's going to come across the front, allowing your fingertips to still be able to bend. And pull back from the knuckles. Should be feeling the stretch going down the front of the forearm, maybe a little bit into the bicep. These are great ones if you find yourself with a desk job, all that work on the computer. Now we're going to hit the backside, so flip that hand over, fingertips down but palm facing you. Pull back from the knuckles. I like to even come under the hand and pull back. Now you should be feeling a stretch go down the back of the wrist. Okay, let's go ahead and do it on the other side. Fingertips down, palms facing forward. Pull back and allow the fingertips to still be able to curl. Okay, flip it back on over, fingertips down, come under and pull from the knuckles. Get the back side of that wrist. Okay, just go ahead and work those wrists out a little bit. Next we're going to go to stretching the hamstrings. Hamstrings tend to be a problem child area for most people. When they get tight and weak, they tend to put pressure on the low back or a lack thereof support. They play a big role in good posture. So we're going to start heel down, toe up, hinging on over till we start to feel a stretch go down the back side. If you're like me and can't quite get the stretch with your knee straight, go ahead and put a slight bend in it, and then you just need to hinge on over. I just felt that stretch go from behind my knee up into my hamstring. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. Heel down, toe up, and hinge on over. Remember, put that little bend in your knee if you need to. All right, and come on out. Okay, last one of our ergonomic stretches. We're going to come down to a kneeling position, tuck those hips in, keep the chest up, and guide that front knee forward. Now when you do this, really try to keep your chest up, elongating the hip flexor. This is another problem area that people have. When this area gets tight, it starts to tilt the pelvis, which can put unwanted pressure and compression on the lumbar part of the spine, and that's your low back part of the spine. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Tuck those hips. Guide that front knee forward. Okay, go ahead and back on out of that. Grab just a quick sip of water before we get into our mobility exercises. And now remember, with mobility, we're going to learn how to create tension and control through all of our movements. So I will be giving you different cues on different parts of your body I want you to try to tense up. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is in our neck and in our shoulders and upper back. This one's called the neck matrix. It's one of the staples in my mobility classes. We're going to teach ourselves to be able to pull our shoulders down while working our neck around. Okay, so start here with your hands behind your back, kind of like how we did with the chest stretch. But instead of reaching back, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades back, pull our arms down, trying to get this squeeze and create tension in our upper back. Now from here, we're going to do just a big neck circle. I want you to take about 20 to 30 seconds to complete it. So we're going to go ear to shoulder while still holding those squeezes in our shoulders and our upper back. And we're going to start slowly going back, chin getting to the ceiling, trying to create the largest range of motion in our neck as possible. Good. Just making your way around. When you find a spot that has a little bit more tightness, maybe even pause there. Then continue through. All the way when you get back around. Kind of reset. So I just took the tension out of my shoulders. Just give it a quick little second. And when you're ready to go again, squeeze back, pull your hands down towards the seat or to the floor, and now we're going to go back the other way. Now we're going towards our collarbones first, rotating towards the sternum, just making our way around, just nice and gentle. I want to be a little more gentle on the neck, given that it is your neck, and I shouldn't have to explain why you want to take care of that guy. Oh, a little bit extra tightness, so I'm just pausing there. And then continuing the rest of the way through. All right, give those shoulders a big roll. Just get some blood flow to that area. Shake out those hands a little bit. First exercise we're going to have our broomstick come in handy is called a monkey hang. So first what you're going to do is you're going to cap the top of your broomstick. Okay? We're going to come down to a kneeling position. Now if your broomstick isn't as tall as mine, what you can do is come down to both knees and sit down. So what we're going to do here is we're going to stabilize the broomstick with one hand, cap in the top here, and then we're going to let our body just fall and hang down. But while we do this, we're going to drive this broomstick into the ground, really activating the muscles around the shoulder and in our mid-back. So here we go. And in and hold. Push, drive down. Now if it doesn't feel like you're working, you're not creating enough tension. Push, 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 push. Hold this for about another 5 seconds. And release. Let's do that 3 more times, and then we'll switch sides. Ready? And begin. Drive down into the ground. And relax. 2 more. And we're in. Drive it into the ground. Really try to squeeze around the shoulder. I'm even trying to squeeze into my hand. And relax. We'll do one more. Now, if the top of it's uncomfortable, you can always grab it like so and wrapping those fingers around. It may be a little bit less effective, but it's better than having the broomstick jab into your hand. All right, last one. Now push it in, driving that stick into the ground. And back out. Okay, other side. Go ahead and get it positioned. Get it into your kneeling position, or you're on both knees. Ready? And begin. Drive that stick into the ground. And relax. Let's do 3 more times. Ready? And begin. And relax. 2 more. And in. Driving down. And relax. Last one. All right, just get repositioned. And begin. Drive it into the ground. And while I'm doing all these exercises, I'm trying to retract that core, pull it in. Always trying to teach that core to be stable through any movement we do. And relax. Okay, let's go ahead and pop up onto those feet. Next exercise we're going to do is called the shoulder dislocates, another staple in my mobility classes. What you're going to do with your broomstick. Now your hands are going to be out wide to start. As you progress, you'll slide your hands in closer and closer. This is the first time you've ever done it. Make them as wide as you can. Now from here, you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back, drawing those shoulders down and pulling the core in. Now for the tension in our arms, I want you to really get a good grip on your broomstick and pretend that you're pulling it apart. So as we go up, we're creating tension throughout our arms. Now all we're going to do, so follow along, we're going to lift straight up, trying to avoid any shrugging in the shoulders, any lunging of the head forward, and no bending in the elbows. Good, just trying to keep that tension as you come around. Good, we're going to do 5 more of those. So once again, if that was too easy, you can slide your hands in a little bit. It won't take much to find the tension. All right, here we go. Up, nice and controlled, squeezing those shoulder blades, pulling apart. And back around. If you're going faster than me, slow down. And while you're doing all this, make sure you're breathing. I know we're creating tension in our body, but don't tense up those lungs. Very good. Keep it going. You need to reset at any time. Do so right here. One more. All right, very good. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to work into the spine now. So you can go ahead and place this to the side. You won't need this again for a little while, but you will need it again. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to focus on a cat-cow positioned movement. If you've taken yoga, this is probably, you might be familiar with this one. Now, the regular cat-cow loves to be right here in all fours like so. And they really emphasize the full curl of the spine. We are going to focus on the lumbar, so the low back part of the spine. Now from here, you're going to see my shoulders and my head stay still, but my hips and low back are going to remain the moving parts. So what I'm going to do here, tuck my pelvis in, hold and squeeze, drawing that belly button in, and then start sticking my butt out, dropping my belly down, trying to squeeze my glutes, pulling back up, like so. Just nice and controlled. If you have low back pain, this is a great one to do. It really helps not only just stretch out the low back area, you're also just getting some muscle activation in the core, which supports the low back. I'm going to keep this going. I love to do a lot of reps on this one. Now, keep going, but if you're having a hard time doing this without your shoulders moving, I want you to go down to your elbows right here. It's a lot harder for the shoulders to move when you're down here. It's still the same thing applies, trying to round out that lower back, tucking that pelvis in, holding the belly button in, and then dropping the hips, or dropping the belly, sticking out the hips, getting that nice little arch. Now, some people experience pain in here. Now, it may be at a certain depth, so if you know that at a certain depth that you go creates pain, just don't go in that far. Take your time. Get connected to your body. Let's do one more. Round it. Pulling tight, hold. And then stick your butt out. Okay, next one we're going to move to is the Supine Scorpion. Now we have two versions of this, one that focuses on the lower body, one that focuses on the upper body. This is where you're going to need your foam roller or rolled up pillow. What we're going to do here is we'll focus on the upper body portion of this movement. We lay right on our side, body nice and straight out. We're going to take our foam roller, we're going to bring it in. So it's right next to the body. Your bottom arm is straight out in front. You're going to take your top leg and place it on top of the roller. Now, what we're going to do here is place our hands on top of each other. We're going to pull our core in. We're going to push that top leg into the foam roller. And then all we're going to do is open, open, open. Still try to keep pushing in. So that way you don't lose your anchor point. Now you're going as far as you can before you start to lose the tension. You're going to get to that end range, really try to squeeze the shoulder blades, pull that core in, try to connect to the muscles in your back, and then slowly bringing it back. So what I'm doing is trying to get to that end range and squeeze for about 10 seconds. All right, let's do two more on this side. And control back. If you're a golfer or a tennis player or any athlete for that matter, getting good rotational mobility is very important. And bring it back. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Okay, get yourself all nice and set up. Place that arm on the bottom, leg up top. And we're going to bring this up and over. And bring it back. The only reason my top arm bends in this is because it's getting close to the couch. For me to go further, I will have to bend my elbow. Still, everything applies. I'm trying to pull that core in, push my top leg down, and then bring it back after holding for 10 seconds. All right, last one. And back. Alright, very good. So now the foam roller can get moved to the side. We don't need it for focusing on the upper body, or I should say the lower body. So what we're going to start here is flat on our back. Arms start out in a T position. Then from here, you're going to place one leg down. Other leg's going to go straight up in the air. We're going to pull our core in and rotate the bottom half towards the side. I'm trying to keep my chest pushed up towards the ceiling, my shoulder blades squeezed, and I'm even pushing down with my hands to create tension throughout there. Control back. Good. 2 more times. Really try to pull that core in, control through the bottom. I'm allowing my hips completely rotate off the ground. Now remember, only go as far as you can that you have control. If that's just to here, that's okay. But you want to really test this range of motion. All right, let's switch sides. Arms out like a T. Make sure you got your other leg up. And rotate it over. And bring it back. And back. Last one. And bring it back. All right. Very good. Let's go ahead and just take a quick water intermission, and then we'll wrap our mobility session up. Okay, our last 2 exercises are going to be focusing on the hips and ankles. So, you will bring the broomstick back. This is called a stick pigeon. Now, once again, if you've taken yoga, you may recognize the pigeon part of this. But what we're going to do here is we're going to start in an all-fours position. And we're going to go ahead and just follow me leg for leg. Now, we're going to bring that left leg up towards our left hand. Kind of rotate the hip, so now my heel of my left foot is by my right knee. Now I'm going to slide that right foot back, getting into the pigeon position. Now, if you have a hard time just getting into this, that's all I want you to work on. But if you get in this pretty easily, what we're going to do is now take the broomstick. We're going to keep our hands, I like to kind of use this opposite grip. We're going to place it on our left side, kind of at a 45-degree angle from our left knee. Now with my right hand, I'm going to rotate and reach under But now while doing this, I'm driving the broomstick down and pushing my hips back. Okay, let's do it together. Now, pull that core in, push those hips back, and rotate under. Really reach. Feel like you're really tensing everything up. If this doesn't feel like work, you're not creating enough tension. And back out. Go ahead and just reset. Take a second. Go ahead and get position again. And begin. Rotate under the body towards the left side. Press down, squeeze those glutes. And rotate back up. We got one more there, and then we'll switch sides. Okay. And back in. And off. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. Come back up to that all fours to reset. Now we're going to take our right knee. We're going to bring that up. Rotate the hip so that way your right heel is next to your left knee. Go ahead and start getting that left leg back, getting into the pigeon position. Once again, if you have a hard time here, just work on getting into this position. That's going to be your job. Okay, so taking the broomstick, it's going to go now on our right side, like so. Letting my body take hold of the movement. Now with my left hand, rotating under, trying to create as much tension as I can. Pulling in that core, reaching forward. And come out. Good, we're going to do two more of those. Ready? And rotate under. And up. One more. And begin. And back up. Alrighty. Go ahead and place your broomstick down. Reset. And just take a quick moment. The next one we're going to do is going to focus on ankle mobility. This will help improve movements like squats or lunges, different skills like hiking, going up and down stairs. Not a lot of people know this, but a lot of those movements break down in the ankle for a lack of ankle mobility and control. So this one's called the combat. Starting in this kneeling position. You're going to take your hands and place it on your thigh, close to the knee, but not on the kneecap. You're going to drive your heel down into the ground and pull your toes up as you push that knee forward, trying to get as much bend in this ankle as you can and activation in the shin. So, go ahead and get set up. Ready? And begin. Pushing that knee forward, driving that heel down into the ground, lifting up those toes. Be feeling a stretch go down the back side of the leg and then activation in the front of the shin. Alright, just back off. We're going to do two more of these. And push in. Really try to lift up those toes, pull those feet up. Back out, just relax. And last one. And back out. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and switch and finish up with the other side. Hands on the knee, drive the heel down, and lift up the toes. 3, 2, 1, begin. And back out. And 2 more. Really push. Back out, last one. And in. And out. Okay. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you found value in all the things that we did. Hopefully they identified areas you may need to work on. Be sure to subscribe to my page to find more tips, tricks, and guidance with your training. You can find me on many different platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.